Closed captioning for great tastes is presented by Manitoba Canola Growers. Canola. Eat well for life. Manitoba Liquor Mart presents Great Tastes of Manitoba. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods. Great Taste is sponsored by Manitoba Agriculture.
Welcome to Great Tastes of Manitoba, Season 28. We are so glad that you're back, and of course, you know this is a big party. We just had our big Canada 150 celebration, and tonight is all about parties and festivities and fun, which of course it always is with Ellen Pruden from Manitoba Canola Growers, not to be outdone, Aaron Alblas from Manitoba Liquor Mart. So first things first, what are we partying with tonight in terms of food and canola oil?
We are celebrating, and it's all about Canadian classics. So we're going to make a fantastic poutine. Everything from scratch.
Poutine.
Yes,
okay.
got me there, right? And then we have fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Ooh, hang on. And then we're gonna end off with a bombolini with Nutella. So these are deep fried little donuts that are stuffed with Nutella. Classic Canadian recipes.
Yeah, that should do. What are you thinking?
Yes, you know what? Happy birthday, Canada. Let's go with some beer, right? Canadians like their rye, they like their wine as well. We're gonna stick with beer, and we're gonna stick with local beer.
Beer works.
Excellent.
Right on, we'll catch you a little bit later in the show. Okay, so you're always making me feel more comfortable in the kitchen because you're taking the mystique out of things, and I have to be honest with you, deep fryers sometimes make me a little bit nervous, but we're going to be working with this tonight, and we're going to be starting with a Manitoba poutine.
Yeah, and you know, deep frying is not scary. So we're gonna go through, like the whole show is about tips and tricks on how you can deep fry at home safely, what to do with the oil, and a couple, 5 techniques that you need to be watching for.
Awesome.
But with anything, it's all about the prep, right? And so we have these fantastic Manitoba potatoes, Peak of the Market.
Peak of the Market, yep.
They're a red potato, they're classic. They make the best French fries. We've cut them all into the same size. That's key, right? So it's all about the prep.
And then they also have to be dry, do they not?
They do. We're gonna soak them first.
Okay.
And so we're gonna soak them first, and that helps to bring out some of the starch, and then allow that to rest, and then you want them to be perfectly dry.
Okay.
So with our oil, and of course we're using canola oil, why not?
Why is it so
totally
perfect,
Canadian.
Ellen? Why, okay.
It's Canadian.
And in terms of the flavor too, it's just kind of a nice neutral, and so it works with everything.
Yeah, and it was developed at the University of Manitoba, making it a fantastic Canadian product. So today we're using a deep fryer, and this one's super simple. So if you're wanting to get into frying first, go with the deep fryer. You set the temperature, you turn it on. The light tells you I'm ready to fry.
It's time now, Des. Okay.
It's time. So we've cooked a couple ahead of time. You can do them 2 ways. So we could cook them once. Sometimes I do a second fry with them, and you get them a little crispier.
Yeah.
So you can have that. But we're gonna put these super dry potatoes in. So we can just take them out.
Like with deep frying, it's really the prep that is well, I wouldn't say most difficult, but it's certainly the most time-consuming part of it, right? And it's a matter of not getting ahead of yourself, just kind of one step at a time. So
we're gonna go in, nice sizzle.
Oh yeah, there
so
it goes.
about 6 to 8 minutes.
Now what if if you don't have a deep fryer, you do it on top of the stove?
We're gonna do it on.
Okay.
So we're gonna make the donuts and the fried chicken on top of the stove, and we're gonna go through some steps. Yes, right there. So now it's about a gravy. Now you think, oh my gosh, we're making gravy without using Canadian beef. Yes,
or a package, which is actually where I was gonna go, but I didn't want to do that to you. So sorry.
No, never. Once you make this recipe, you're never gonna go to a package again. It is so simple. So we have a handful of ingredients. Where we have our pan, we want to heat it up because we want our canola oil to sizzle. And so we're just going to give a nice drizzle, about 2 tablespoons in here.
Okay.
And then
what else we have going on in here?
Well, we have shallots. So we're going to add in our shallots.
Right.
And for many times you have shallots or onions, and always you want to add in your shallots first.
Because that's what needs to kind of cook
Soften
up the
and
most.
cook it. Yeah, and then we have our garlic, and we don't want to do our garlic ahead of time because it burns so quickly.
It's true.
And so you want to be nice and gentle and light. And the shallots and the garlic are really what's going to flavor this base and give it kind of that depth that we're not getting from that traditional, using a beef roast or something like that. And I think Adriana's doing a beef roast poutine.
Oh, yes.
On one of her shows. So you have to watch and then you can see how she does it and then test and compare. So they're gonna have a nice sizzle. And now we're adding in our garlic, and we're just gonna let that cook down for a minute or two.
And what are our spices here?
Well, we're doing some fresh thyme, which is so wonderful. And so it adds some brightness into the gravy. So that's just gonna saute for a minute. While you stir that, I'm gonna just check the fries over here.
So yeah, like roughly how long are we looking at? Well, I guess we'll tell you when they're done.
Yeah, about 6 minutes. But you want to just take a peek. They're starting to get a little brown. The oil is nice and hot. They've seared the outside of the potato, but we're never going to season at this time. Never season with the oil. So they're going back down. They're looking great. Okay. That's looking wonderful. We're going to add in our fresh thyme into here. Pepper. Stir that around.
What is,
Worcestershire.
Oh, Worcestershire, okay.
So that is the secret ingredient. So we're having all this wonderful goodness going on right now. We have our beef stock.
Okay.
Add that in.
And then our now not so secret ingredient, Worcestershire.
First, before that, we're gonna add in the bouillon cube.
Okay.
We're gonna mix that around and then the Worcestershire. It kind of gives a nice roundness that takes place.
Yeah.
Now, so with the gravy, we need to have a thickening agent, and we're looking at just flour and water. So we're making a roux. Yes.
All right.
Now you want it to be not lumpy, and so this is like 2 hands, but we could have a helper. So we're gonna slowly add this in, and I'm now gonna whisk.
Whoa,
so you're out, I'm in.
I'm outie.
And this will slowly come together.
And then what, 2-3 minutes is probably nice and thick?
We just want it to cook. You want to cook out that flour. You want it to have it come to a boil.
Okay.
And now we're gonna, while that settles and that cooks out.
So then, kind of the final thing would be like sort of building your poutine here, right?
And I would even, it's a party, let's have a celebration, you could have a poutine bar.
Oh, yeah.
So why not have a whole bunch of things going on? So we got dairy farmers and our great cheese, we have some potatoes. So you can mix, some people do bases and layers of what's going on.
Right.
But I think the classic way to do it is you add your potatoes.
Right.
I would add the cheese.
Okay, yeah.
And then, as soon as that gravy is hot, and then we're adding a nice little, some green onions for that freshness and the bite.
Okay.
So you could season your potatoes like the French fries right now, but there's a lot of flavor going in with the gravy. I don't think you need to have that salt that is happening with
Pop
that.
it all on. Okay, so we got our poutine bar going here. When we come back, we are going to, just when we thought things couldn't get any better, we're going to do some fried chicken. Manitoba canola growers right here in Great Taste of Manitoba.
Nice.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by Manitoba Liquor Mart. Enjoy responsibly.